Hello everyone and welcome to RcHelpDotCom. I'm Tony and today we're continuing on with the 3GX series. Now in the last video I showed you guys how to go into the flight mode settings on the gyro itself and how to program it. You can do this at any time out of the field if you don't have a computer. It's basically a way to rough in your settings, find out what each setting does and which one you like best. Once you get to that point, grab your computer, fire up this software, then you can go in and actually fine tune the settings and get them exactly where you want them. Now as you can see here, we got the 3GX software all fired up, we got the USB plug connected, our transmitter's on, our helicopter's on, and we've got a successful connection. What we did in the last video is we went into all the flight mode settings. If you want to follow along, click on this flight mode setting and then you can go through here and you can follow each one of the steps that I went through. If you want to actually adjust these on the computer, every one of those settings is in flight mode parameter 2. Once we click in there, as you can see, these are the settings that we put in whenever we did everything on the gyro itself. Now, one mistake that I made is I had said 15%. I don't know why I said 15%, lack of sleep, I'm guessing. We actually set them at 30%. 30% is going to be one solid light, one flashing light. Remember, we have to go in 10% increments. Again, like I said, we're at 30% on all of these. These two here, Aileron and Elevator, are going to be number 1 in the flight mode settings. Elevator Travel is number 2, Aileron's 3, and then both your dampening is number 4, and both of your acceleration is number 5. My suggestions for all of you new pilots out there, you guys just getting into this or looking for just an absolute super stable helicopter, take both of these, the aileron roll rate and the elevator flip rate, and lower them down to 10, 15, somewhere in that area. What that's going to do is it's not going to move as fast. If you pull back on that elevator as far as you can, it's not going to start tilting back as fast. If you take this thing and you crank it all the way up, then once you pull that elevator back, this thing is going to move as fast as it possibly can. Turn this setting down, guys. Your elevator travel limit and your aileron travel limit. Again, these were two separate menus. This is number 2, this is number 3. We have them set on 30%. Now remember, even if you take this and turn both of them all the way down, you're still going to have 8 degrees of cyclic pitch. You're going to have 8 degrees to control this helicopter. Whenever you turn this thing up, that's when you start getting crazy on how much throw you have in that swash. Remember, the more you have, the more sensitive that stick's going to be whenever you move it. I highly suggest that you guys, again, 10 to 15%. You can turn this thing all the way down to 0 if you want, and it's not going to hurt a thing. It's just going to make the helicopter a little bit more sluggish, but a lot more stable. These settings, you need to figure out which ones you like and put them in and stick with it, fly it for a little while, and then change it and see what the changes do for you. If you like them, keep it. If you don't, try another setting. Now, your cyclic pitch dampening and your collective pitch dampening, these are going to be a lot like Expo. It's going to dampen your movements. It's not going to be as precise. The higher you turn it up, the less locked in it's going to feel to the stick. It's going to be, like I said in the above, it's going to be real sluggish, guys. The lower you put it, the more direct feel that you're going to have. If you put it all the way down, then it's like a 1-to-1 ratio with your stick. If you move the stick, it's going to move the servos just like you move that stick. I like the dampening pretty high, especially whenever you're doing real precise movements. Your cyclic and collective pitch acceleration, guys, don't even think about even putting these things on number 1. Leave these things on 0. And I'm telling you, trust me on this. If you want to see a twitchy helicopter, crank them things up to about 15-20%. That thing will get unbelievably twitchy on you. But guys, these are all the settings that we did on the gyro, except now we can go in and we can fine tune it. If 10's not quite enough on the flip rate, hey, maybe 13 is. You can't get 13 by doing this on the gyro itself. But you can go to 10 or you can go to 20. Now, if 10's not enough, 20's too much, then you know that you need to be somewhere in about there. Go outside, play with these settings, and find out what your settings are that you like. Each one of these is going to be different for each helicopter and each individual pilot. You have to make these things your own. It's just like your dual rate and Expo settings. You have to fly with what makes you feel comfortable. But if you start out with what I have here, this is a very, very, very forgiving setup. This will get you in the air with a gyro that has gotten a really, really bad rap here lately. The 3GX is a great gyro. You can pick them up for 75 bucks max, and if you use these settings, you're going to get that gyro in the air, and it's going to be just as stable as any of them other gyros. If you guys need any help with this at all, come over the forum and post up. Guys, we're happy to help you guys get these things set up and get them put in the air. If you have comments or suggestions, again, post them up on the forum. Make sure right below this video, click on the Facebook link and go over to Facebook and like us on there. I look forward to seeing every one of you on the forum. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.